stuff here, because I realise the value of putting better food in your body. But at the same time, there's even a thought that says you don't really want to bring any food into your body, because in some form, if it's coming from the outside to the inside, even though we need it at the moment, there is an ability, you've heard of breatharian. You've heard of the breatharian people who breathe the inner constructs of energy that flow through the body naturally through the inner structure of the anatomy. It's like we can bring it in, and we sing songs in the type of work that we use called Kathara healing. Kathara meaning light, sound, one. We use the Anahazi language of command tones, because commands are sound frequencies that open electromagnetic tonal control centers or signet seals of vortex energy systems within the body to allow the inner kingdom constructs come in. So if you make sound tones through song, you actually bring energetic streams in. And when you start to look at the atomic structure and the 12-tree grid that constitutes the original pattern of creation and how they all click together into multiplications of the 12, you'll realise that there are command tones that can open up certain sequences of your genetic coding inside yourself, your biological flows, rivers of life that work through you, perpetual motion streams. They can open up constellations of dimensional space-time realities outside yourself, in the hologram of the universal complex within the cosmic reality field. You're beginning to understand that you can connect into higher dimensions of thought, and you can actually breathe atmospheres. You can actually breathe atmospheres of higher elemental constitution back into reformulation within your biological anatomy of structure. You can do that rather than code it from the outside. So even though I'm eating healthy food, it's good. It's better to eat living organic food watered with good rainwater. But I'll tell you what, the chemtrails that are around here. Have you ever seen my YouTube? Type in Grant Barlow chemtrails. You'll see that chemtrails are being sprayed left, right and centre, and have been for the last sort of like 20 years on the planet. That if you realise what's happening in the corruption through the chemtrails and how they're going to code everything on the planet through these, there's just 5 or 6 main purposes for these chemtrails, and they code everything. It's what they call smart dust. Nanotechnology comes in, codes the food, codes your body, codes your clothing, codes the water, codes everything. And so, like the chemtrails are coding the water that I would put on my vegetables. So eventually, I would have thought it would be lovely to have organic, beautiful vegetables that are heirloom varieties, non-genetic modified, that haven't been coded with corruption, and just live, off the organic side of it, which would be good, lovely, beautiful. But everything's being corrupted. The air's corrupted, the water's corrupted, the fluoride in the water, the frequencies from your TV, the media's corrupted, the education system's corrupted, every religious structure on the planet's corrupted, every New Age teaching is corrupted, everything in the world is corrupted. And, there's only one real thing that can happen right now is for us to learn a technology that's coming into the planet in this current activation cycle, stellar activation cycle, and download the original encryption codes of our original form and bring in the life-healing codes from the inner structure of the cellular being, that we are, from the atomic, subatomic particle inner reality fields, and bring the recoding of the structuring from within to without and change the without. So you're not going to be coded by that which is around you. You're going to recode that which is around you from the emerging inner kingdom realities and the reconstitution of your being by bringing forth the original encryption and the core encryption of the primal order of your signature of life. The radiation signature of your Christed being, your Christed being, is going to emerge through the templates of your hologram, and that's the wonderful thing, It's the wonderful thing. So anyway, I like to talk about this a little bit, and as you know, I get quite excited about it, because I know that this is the only thing that anyone on the planet could be doing that's worthwhile. This is the only thing that anyone on the planet could be doing that's worthwhile. Finding out your original encryption codes and doing the technology, training that we're going through Kathara healing. I keep on typing into the room because everyone is coming into the room. www.2minds1choice.com. If you go to my website, it points you on the technology website. It'll point you to where this information is coming from. At this moment, the Milky Way galaxy is in a state of fall. The whole Milky Way galaxy is a state of fall, and the energy is being extracted through the harnessing systems that have been put in place over billions of years. The energy is being extracted, through the fabric of humanity and everything else, down the black hole, and you're being ripped off continuously of your energy, and you can't regenerate your structure. But there is a regenesis program here, through a new covenant of alignment, a new covenant of peace, through the Guardian Alliance, and through doing the techniques and technologies and downloading the symbol codes and mathematical codes of regenesis into the biological form of your hologram, you can overcome the burden that has so corrupted you over eons of time. And I always say to people, unless you're doing that, you're doing nothing. You're just complying with the system of corruption. You've got to be doing something, because all of this world is corrupt. There's nothing in this world that's true. You've got to find something that's from higher dimensional structure, coming down and forming you, regenerating you, lifting you up, transfiguring you. You've got to do something from those intimate parts of your lost self coming back to you, that you might know yourself the way you know him, And anyway, I'm just going to sign off, you beautiful ones. We love you. We continue to bless you in the name of the living one, in the light of truth. And I know that each one of you are so beautiful and wonderful in your own original construct. Even though all of us have been distorted in many ways, we can regenerate ourselves. And we're not going to look at the distortions, we can say, okay, we'll look at it for a while, we'll regenerate that, but we're not going to blame one another for how we are participating in the illusion. We're not going to blame one another for how we are participating in the illusion. Hello there, Jibal Course, nice to see you in the room. Anyway, welcome, beautiful ones. I'll talk a bit more later on. If anyone wants me to carry on talking, I will carry on a bit longer, because it's a wonderful thing, That's right there, Ms. B. It says there, no blame, no shame, no condemnation. And it says, there's no condemnation to those who are in Christ. Christ means that body of oneness, which is the wholeness that we all are before we came into dilapidation. So there's no condemnation if we're in Christ, if we're in the Christed state, if we're in the regenesis, if we're in that process of evolving back into our natural state of awareness. We're not going to blame one another for what we're currently holding in our templates. We're not going to look and point our finger and say, that person's doing that. No, we're going to let them work out their own salvation. I'm working out my own salvation. We're all going to be working out our own salvation from illusions. And it's going to be something that we're going to be doing together. And we're going to be looking at the unity and the reconstitution of love and peace and joy and rightness and goodness and everything else. And we're not going to be looking at the problem, but we're going to have to look at it for a moment to see that there is a problem there operating through our templates, and then decide to transmute that, transfigure that, lift ourselves up, and drop those codes off that drag us down the black hole. Right? So anyway, I hand over the mic, you beautiful ones, and we love you, and we love you. I'll come back on shortly if you want me to. Someone can make a request anyway.